was that sex tape and all them surgeries to look good, right? You ever see the before photos on the Kardashians? Ain't great. Just mustaches and all kind of stuff. Like it was wild until that scalpel came out. And then all of a sudden it was like, whoo, man, look at this. Right, look at this over here. If he's going to release Kim Kardashian's videos on it, like that may do it. I don't understand why we need a Kanye West-backed porn site. If he's going to start having sex with his, I don't know, are they married? Whatever it is. That woman he's hanging out with, I think people would want to see that. I don't even know who she is. Honestly, I don't know why she's famous outside of being the woman who walks next to Kanye and never says anything. Like, I honestly don't know why she's famous. But, like, when I see her, I'm like, yeah, I think I'd watch that. There's something, they don't even have to be famous. You find out your best friends have a sex tape, and it's out there on the internet. You're going home and watching that, right? I've said it about me. Most of you don't think I'm attractive. It's not like you're like, hey, let's turn on the radio because I think this guy's hot. Like, that's not what people are doing. But if you found out there was a sex tape out there, you'd be like, all right, I gotta watch this, right? Like, I gotta have to see. I mean, dude, he sucks at everything else. There's no way he's good at this, right? And like, of course you're gonna want to see that. Interest. I remember like when the Jennifer Lawrence nudes got leaked. It's like, dude, you're shocked people are interested to look at this? I mean, we could get into the conversation about whether or not you should. Okay, fair. But like whether or not people are going to be interested in it is insane. I think as OnlyFans stars start to get more and more famous and we don't care about the movies as much as we used to, and Jerry Seinfeld was right about that. I mean, Barbie and Oppenheimer kind of proved that people still care about movies when they're big. We just don't have as many. We used to have 15 Oppenheimers a year. We had one Oppenheimer last year. And so as attention starts shifting off of traditional celebrities and more onto to what I'm going to call the average people, you and I, are the celebrities going to fight to stay relevant? And it's like, oh, sex tapes is what you want? Here's Tom Hanks banging it out. Now, I doubt he would do it. He's got more than enough money to make it through, but some marginal celebrities, maybe. Celebrities we consider to be A-listers but don't have the same type of money. I think that could be the thing. I think we're headed for wild times. But they're not even going to have to make it themselves now that I think about it. You know, a lot of women are already creating AI versions of themselves and creating porn stars through it. So you're going to have the George Clooney porn videos. It's just not going to be George Clooney. It's just going to look a lot like George Clooney. No, just wait, baby. Because once that happens, you're going to start hearing about how AI technology is really, really bad and a threat to democracy and a threat to this. As of right now, when it's screwing over Wendy's workers, screw them. Suck it. When it starts to affect the Clooneys of the world, watch then now, as it's the biggest problem we have in the country. You know, remember when I told you that about 55-year-old factory workers when nobody cared when jobs were being taken? I said, wait till it starts coming for $300,000 a year writing jobs, and it did. And then all those people started writing those articles about how bad it was. Yeah. It's exactly what's going to happen here, too. Everybody's going to say, oh, quit crying about it. It's going to be fine. You know, the tractor came along once and it got rid of the hoe. And then next thing, it's like, yeah, dude. And like things got worse. Some things got worse. Just because things are convenient doesn't always mean they're better. The microwave's convenient. Did your food get better? You can't even think about that with a straight face. You know that ain't the reality of that. You know that's not the truth of that. So we are headed for wild times here. I also think it's why this is the worst time in the world to invest in pornography that's not AI related. I keep saying, wait till you no longer have to worry about whether or not that woman was humanly trafficked. Wait till you no longer have to worry about whether or not it was a drunk uncle that molested her that turned her into a porn star. I know it's not all of them, but it's a good portion. I've listened to a lot of interviews with those women over the years. I have interviewed more than a few of them over the years. Alexis Texas comes to mind. Rachel Starr comes to mind. Adriana Chechik comes to mind, which, by the way, she now says the exact opposite about her career that she said while she was on the air with me. While she was doing it, it was one thing. Now, kind of afterwards, like, I don't know, that probably wasn't great. I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably shouldn't have done this. Ladies, I think I have good news for you. For years and years, I've heard about the societal pressure that is put on women to look beautiful, to be hot, to be attractive, to be the Budweiser girl, to be whatever the thing is. You're not wrong. There is societal pressure for people to be good looking. With so many people rushing to expose their sexuality, talk about it online, masturbate in front of the camera, whatever the hell the thing is. A woman who has not done any of this in 5 years' time will be one of the most valuable things on the face of the planet. I think women who are not considered to be beautiful, just kind of good looking or average looking like most people on the planet, you're going to be some of the most sought after people alive because you didn't do this. You kind of kept it to yourself there a little bit. Hid a little bit of that. I was watching a show the other night, and I reference this a lot. It's called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and I love it. Done by Aaron Sorkin, my favorite. And a woman on that show, the premise is she lost a movie to another female actress. And she says, they told me that it wasn't necessarily that she was sexier than me, she's perceived sexier than me. So her plan was then she was going to do this lingerie shoot to try to improve the mentality around like whether or not she's sexy. And one of the male actors in the show says to her, don't do this. You're going to regret it. They don't think I'm sexy, Simon. To which he says to her, they'll think you're sexy if you show them you're sexy. They won't think you're sexy if you show them your ass. Welcome back to the program. I'll remind you that another opportunity at $1,000, that happens with Teresa. 10 a.m. she'll have the next one. She's got a few of those keywords. Not that long before you get another one. You know, which I think a lot of people could use. I went, again, I was shopping yesterday. I was looking, and I went for a purpose. I needed something. And I needed a new bottle of Advil, ibuprofen, right? There was some soreness that happened with some playing of the golf and the like. So I was like, oh, man, I got to go get some of this so I have it in the house. I ran out. And so I go to the store, and I understand things are expensive these days. And I go back to the pharmacy section of the grocery store, and I look for the Advil. I find it. And I picked it up, a 300 count bottle. Probably good to have around. Let's make sure we have this for a while. Don't run out again soon. $27. $30 for Advil? Like, I know prices are going up, man, and I've talked about this many, many times. If I have been lucky with anything, this would be it. Then I haven't necessarily had to sticker or price watch a whole lot in my adult life. I can complain about my compensation, and when you stack it next to some other people, it is wildly inflammatory. It's flat out can be seen as disrespectful, but I am yet still am compensated pretty well. I am. And I don't have children, and I live alone. It's an inexpensive way to go about life. So I have not necessarily had to bargain shop as much as other people kind of need to. I should have been. It's not like I make so much money where it's like, I light the $100 bills on fire, it don't matter. Like, that's not the situation. But I do all right. So the point I'm always making with this is you took a guy who didn't necessarily need to be looking at stickers a whole lot, and now he does. Where it's like, so what is happening out there for everyone? So I'm just kind of making the point that money, a necessity out there. You know, and I don't mean to victory lap right before I get off the air and tell you how right I was, but I tried to tell you that the years after the pandemic were going to be worse than the years that you were dealing with it. Remember? I was early on that one. So were a lot of you. I said, you think these CEOs are just going to sit idly by and lose this money? We're just going to shut the country down damn near 3 years. These CEOs are just going to take this on the chin. They're going to lose this money. These evil people you tell me are out to hunt you down every minute of every day. They're going to be nice to you right now. This isn't going to come back tenfold. You know it will. And there it is. And that's exactly what we're seeing out there. Part of it is corporate greed. Not all of it. Again, the CEOs of the fast food companies were greedy in the 80s, in the excess decade too, right? They were. All that, but there's plenty of it going around. $30 for a bottle of Advil. That's why we're passing out $1,000 keywords. Get your next 10 a.m. off of Teresa right here on Rock 106.9. Aside from that, I'm done for the day. Not back live again until tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Be good to one another. And do, in fact, meet me here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for Thursday's program on Rock 106.9. Hopefully you have a decent afternoon. I can get the word out of my mouth. And hopefully I run into you somewhere around town.
At the UPS store, we have everything to help small business owners be unstoppable. So if you need printing, we'll be the printing store.
The UPS store. Be unstoppable. The UPS store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
The numbers also tell us you feel justified in doing it because your company makes a ton of money and they don't pay you as much money as they should. Or, it's just me, I can take this. It's just me, I can have that. I'm not talking down to you. I'm guilty as hell. Want me to tell you some stuff I stole from here? I'll tell you. During COVID, I took one of the office chairs from the sales bullpen because I knew not everybody was coming back to the office. Put it in the back seat of my car, drove it home. I use it as my desk chair at home now in my office at my house. And I absolutely did put that in my car because I thought to myself, well, I'm an essential employee, but I've been here every day. Didn't miss not one show during COVID. Showed up, did my job, did everything, kept all the clients on the air, did what I was supposed to do, was a good little soldier. And so I was like, you know what? I'm working at home a ton, I'm taking this chair. We ordered bottled water here in the building. I've taken a case of bottled water out of this building Friday with me, like, dude, I'm not stopping at the grocery store for a case of water, I'm stealing this. I've totally done that. And do I feel justified doing that? Yeah. I'm not paid the right amount, I'm not thanked enough. None of that's reality. None of that is true. Well, I'm not paid enough money, but you take the point. So plenty of people have stolen from work. I just literally admitted it to you. So given the amount of opportunity or what's there to be stolen, that's how that's going to go. So there's where I would come down with, I'm willing to bet that's the infraction people were guilty of the most. Now, if they asked me to bring the office chair back, would I? Sure. Absolutely. If they asked me to